Tabletop Magic!
Hey guys, Cody with Leisure Time Games, and I want to do a quick video on some tips and tricks on cheap conversions, ways you can get around some of the Games Workshop prices and still be able to play. Now, I have to give a warning, just advisory, let you guys know, obviously, if you want to play in tournaments, if you want to compete at Games Workshop sanctioned events, you can't take these. Most of the time, I think there's requirements on it being X amount of percentage of Games Workshop material. If you have a lot of bits on it, maybe you could get away with it because it's possible that I think there's a ruling about if you have like 80% of it covered in Games Workshop bits, they still let you use it or something like that. I've heard. I've never actually gone to a full-on. Well, I guess I have played in one sanctioned event, but it was with my Necrons. All my Necrons are legit. But essentially, a lot of this is for playing with friends. There's different tactics and units and things like that I want to try out for an army, but I don't want to go out and spend the money just to basically try out a tactic. You know what I mean? It's not financially a good idea to go out and drop $40 on a Rhino every time you think it'd be good to run a squad up in a Rhino. So I came up with little ideas for different things. So I thought I'd do a quick video, show you all of them rather than one at a time. Now I wish I could have done videos showing you how I converted it, the process, but like I said, it's been busy and I didn't have the time or the means, but I will show you now. So first thing I'll show you is for Chaos. For Chaos Space Marines, I personally love running Typhus with a lot of cultists nominated as Plague Zombies. Makes them fearless and gives them a 5-up feel no pain. That is ridiculously awesome, especially if you run 100 or 120 cultists or something like that on the field, right? Just, with that many fearless feel no pain models on the field, it's crazy good. You can still get double toughness, fine, but I love horde armies. I love don't get me wrong, I love elite armies and stuff, but there's something about moving a buttload of models across the field that's just indescribable. So the problem is, you're playing Chaos, and all of a sudden you need Plague Zombies. And you want 100 or 120 of them, and cultists are about, I want to say it's $20, $25 for 10 cultist miniatures. Now don't get me wrong, Games Workshop makes beautiful miniatures, and you're not going to find anything that looks as detailed and as nice as the regular cultist. And with, Dark Vengeance boxes out there and stuff on eBay, it's very possible to find groups of cultists for a little bit cheaper, but still kind of pricey. You might get 20 cultists for $20. Okay, it's, $20, or it's a dollar a model. That's not horrible. That's pretty cheap, actually. But if you want 100 of them, you're still gonna have to drop some money. So I still have to drop $100. So I came up with something else. If I want to run regular cultists, I buy regular cultists. If I want to run Plague Zombies with Typhus, here's a little conversion you can do. Quick and easy. There's a board game called Zombies. And it's essentially a little tile board game where it comes with a big pack of zombies. Now, separate from that board game, but by the same company, which I think is Twilight Creations. Pretty sure Twilight Creations Zombies is the name of the game. They come with expansion packs that is literally called Bag O Zombies. And it's just a big bag of 100 zombies. Now, if you take that little zombie miniature, and they're just regular plastic cast in like a polyurethane plastic that's already like a pale white or green, depending on what color you find them. You can get glow in the dark also. If you compare that to the size of cultist, if you put the zombie miniature from the bag of zombies on a regular size Space Marine base, the regular 40K round base, I think it's 30 millimeter round base or something, I don't know, 20, 12, whatever. If you put them on the little base, the regular one, Space Marine base, glue it down and set it right next to a cultist, it's the exact same size. They're a little bit thinner, they almost look weaker, but they're zombies, so they're supposed to be decayed and weak, you know, so it works out. But they're the same height, and it's perfect. And you get 100 for $12. $12. You now have 100 zombies. So here's what I did. I bought the bag of zombies for $12. I then went to my local craft store, Michael's or whatever, and I bought a big bag of cork. It was like little round cork discs for about $3. It gave me like 50 round cork discs. Each cork disc was big enough where what I did is I took the normal Space Marine base, just a regular old base, and I would set it up next to the cork, and I would break the cork off around the base until the cork was round and the same size as the Space Marine base. Went through and made 100 of those, sprayed them black, laid down a couple layers of gray with some dry brushing of a really light gray so it looked like a nice granite rock. Then what I did is I took either Army Painter Quick Shade, or you could even just kind of make your own with a mixture of some water, like a little bit of watered down dark brown or black paint. If you want to do it really cheap, you could do it that way, because you could buy a big bottle of paint, again from your craft store, for about $1 or $2. So at this point you're about 15, 16 bucks into it. You pour that into a bucket and just add a little bit of water, but I'd say maybe about 50-50. You go 50-50 water to paint, so it's nice watered down paint. Or you can use Army Builder Quick Shade. It's a little more expensive, but it works better. I actually use Army Painter Quick Shade. It's more expensive, but usually the can will last you a long time, and it's pretty good. And I actually even water down my Army Painter Quick Shade because it's pretty thick. But essentially I went through with my pair of pliers and I quick shade dipped all 100 zombies to give them nice detailed shadows and lines, right? And they already come like a polyurethane green. The plastic is like a green mold. And then I'm adding the quick shade to highlight the lines on the mold, which was good. Did that, let them dry. Then I took Nurgling Green and dry brushed all over. I'm not picking out the hair. I'm not picking out any details of clothes or anything like that. Just dry brushing a light Nurgling Green all over all 100 of them. Then I take Nurgle's Rot Technical Paint and just a little bit on the arm, maybe on the side of the face. I just kind of splotch it around on every single model, all 100 of them. Now I have 100 green rotting zombies, you know, and I would go through and I glued all 100 of those onto the little cork bases that I made, so I didn't have to spend money on Games Workshop bases. And then I just watered down some tacky glue and threw some flock on there to cover up the little base that they're kind of standing on already, because it looked a little wonky. But you throw grass over that, so it just looks like a little mound on top of the rock that they're standing on. And basically, I don't know how well you can see it because the camera's kind of far from me, but it basically gave me 100 of these. So that's the plague zombie right there. That's the plague zombie. So I actually went with female ones because I thought it'd be kind of funny if Typhus had a bunch of female zombies all around him. I would actually recommend the male ones, the regular old bag of zombies that are the guys, because the guys are a little bit bigger than the girls. These ones are even slightly smaller. They're still pretty close to scale with normal cultists. Like I said, they're thinner, right? But yeah, I went through and did that, and now I have 100. It took me a day. It was just like an afternoon project of doing this, aside from letting the quick shade dry, which I would recommend letting it dry for about 12 to 24 hours. So I actually did the quick shade the night before, let it dry all night, and then the next day I started making all the bases. And yeah, I'll try to do like a still shot of them to kind of give you an up close look at what they look like. But 100 zombies, cheap and easy, $20. You now have 100 zombies so that you can try out the Hell Cult formation. Because like I said in the previous video, a Hell Cult formation with the Hell Brute with 2 units of 35 cultists, that's 70 cultists nominated as plague zombies because you have typhus. Now you have 70 cultists that are fearless, which, I mean, technically in the Hell Cult formation, he already makes them fearless, but it's just extra, whatever. And they'll get Zealot after the Hell Brute dies, if he dies. But like I said, I throw down heavy gunfire on the Hell Brute. I give him las cannons and a missile launcher, keep him as my big shooter, and basically put the 70 cultists in front of him, nominated as plague zombies, and they all have feel no pain. So they're that much more likely to survive and protect him. Pretty cheap, pretty easy. If you want to try out that, that Hell Cult formation, if you want to try out a bunch of plague zombies, it's a fun way to do a little horde army for your chaos without having to break bank. So just an idea, that's something that I did. The other thing I did for my chaos is Rhinos. I kind of stumbled on to the fact that I was always like oblivious to it until recently, that Chaos Space Marines, all their vehicles contain dirge casters, which take away a unit's overwatch that's 6 inches away. And all I could think is like, man, for my Khorne army or even for my Nurgle army, having a bunch of dirge casters on Rhinos is not only a fast way to get my Marines up the field, but it also keeps the Tau from doing their crazy, my entire army's going to overwatch onto you kind of thing. So, I started thinking, man, I need Rhinos. But Rhinos are about 40, here in America, about $40 a pop. $45 even. So that kind of sucks. That hurts the wallet, especially when you need 4 or 5 of them. That's like $250 just for some Rhinos. So here's what I did. You go to your local toy store. For us, it's Toys R Us. Go to Toys R Us, and there should be a section of like little army men, just the classic army men like from the movie Toy Story, and they come in a bucket. There's like a bucket of army men, and it also comes with like barbed wire. I actually use this as terrain. It works good. If you have the Stronghold Assault book, it has rules for tangle wire. That gives like a 6-up cover save and dangerous terrains, different stuff. So you can actually use it and it looks cool. It's fun to actually have it on the field. So it comes with like 4 of these pieces of wire. It comes with like 2 or 3 little bunkers. It comes with obviously a bunch of the little soldiers. And it also comes with 2 little tanks. And if you take the tank and you compare it bottom to bottom, side by side, next to a Rhino, which in fact I'll do, because these are the ones I converted for Chaos. So this is the little tank that you buy. Obviously this is after I've converted it. What I did is I snipped, for the one that I wanted as my Rhino, I snipped the barrel off, and I put the flail from the defiler onto it to make it look really chaotic. Threw a Havoc launcher on there. I freehanded a little Khorne symbol on there. I threw some green stuff on there and painted it up like flesh. Basically, I sprayed the whole thing black, painted it up, and let me grab a Razorback real quick, or a Rhino. Okay, so this is one of my Grey Knight Razorbacks, which without the gun on top of it is a Rhino. That's a Rhino right there. This is the tank that I bought from the toy pack. Now, you can see it's a little bit shorter as far as like the sidewalls. It's a little less realistic as far as like guys actually been able to fit inside of here. Yes, then again, I don't actually believe 10 guys could fit inside of this either. But when you actually compare it wall to wall, tread to tread, they're the same length. And if you go from the top of this, the little turret to the top of this, it's the same height, the same length. They're the same width. Like as far as like playability, I don't feel like it's cheesy or anything like that, because number one, I have a lot of Chaos Space Marine bits and green stuff, which is a Games Workshop product as well, and I use all Games Workshop paints. So if you consider that, this model is at least 50% Games Workshop stuff. And it's the same size as the Razorback, so I'm not gaining any benefits. It's not like you're gonna hit me, it's not harder for you to hit me with a blast template because my Rhinos are smaller. No, they're the same size. As far as width and length, they're the same size. So I'm not gaining any benefits, it was just cheaper. Because this bucket of Army Men from Toys R Us is $10. For $10, I get 2 of the little tanks, I get barbed wire, I think like 4 of them. I get like 2 or 3 little bunkers that you can use as terrain also. And it comes with like a little hill and some rocks. But essentially what I did is I spent the $10, I took out the 2 tanks, the barbed wire, and the bunkers. Those are things that I wanted. So I basically got 2 Rhinos right off the bat for $10, plus a little bit of extra terrain stuff. And then I took the Army Men and I gave them to my nephew. $10 gives me this bucket of Army Men. It gives me 2. Now, this one here, I actually built to be my Predator. So this one, I actually left the little, I cut the cannon down on the front, and I put the little like warp flame gargoyle head thing. And then I actually added las cannons that I had from another Razorback to each side, and added these little panels. So it almost looks like they flipped out, because I don't want to just like glue las cannons to the side. That would look too cheap. And essentially, yeah, threw bits and green stuff on it, and there it is. I mean, now I have a Predator, so that if I want to try the twin length las cannon Predator out for my Chaos Space Marine army, but I don't want to go spend $60, that's a great conversion. $10, 2 tanks, plus some barbed wire and stuff. But I mean, I went out and bought 2 of those. That was $20, and I got 4 Rhinos. $20 is half the price of 1 normal Rhino. So I got 4 Rhinos for half the price of 1. That's just, to me, even though, like I said, I probably can't go use that in a tournament or anything like that, but with my friends, it's a fun way to try out different things, different tactics, and not have to break bank. Cool, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.